So it's time for us to, we are not going to demonstrate against the judiciary, but we are just get to know exactly what is happening in the judicial arm of government. Murtala Inusah has joined me with court today. Murtala, good morning.
Good morning, Joshua Kojo Mensah, the birthday boy.
Oh, come on.
Charlie,
Come on. Oh, Charlie. Amen.
If we want to say things about you today, we'll dedicate the whole court to this segment for you. It's great to celebrate the birthday like this with the people of Ghana and all of that.
Yes.
Charlie, you're a big man.
You're a bigger man. I mean, it's been busy in the court. Yesterday we saw the demonstration, and then we even saw some people who were robed as judges. You know, they are saving the judiciary.
Yes. You saw from the videos that were shown, saw from the videos that we came to you with in relation to the demonstration and all of that. It started from the Supreme Court, used the High Street, Atamil's Highway, through to the Law Court Complex and all of that, through the Accra Sports Stadium, Osu Cemetery to Parliament, and then eventually terminated at the Christ the King. But in all that stop, in fact, they made sure they petitioned all each of the three arms of government.
Yeah,
and
the
first stop,
the legislature, and then
absolutely. So
the presidency.
From what happened yesterday, the first stop that they made was to the judiciary, and they presented a petition to the Judicial Service. Let's hear from the acting Judicial Secretary, Dr. Syracuse Bapuro, when he received the petition on behalf of the acting Chief Justice.
But we are very glad with the way things have happened so far. And I want to assure you that this petition will be transmitted to the relevant authorities or audience, and attention will be paid to it. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
I remember those days when you are, is it the Jama?
The Jama, when the guys are playing, then you are behind
when
them.
you are on a Luther machine, you play that song. You know? So that is Syracuse Bapuro, right. Dr. Syracuse Bapuro, the acting Judicial Secretary, receiving the petition on behalf of the Judicial Service, of course, and he was being supported by the President of the Judicial Service Staff Association, Mr. Samuel Afote Otu. The HR of the Judiciary was also part of it, and some other officials from the Judiciary. So that is how it started, and all of that eventually ended at the presidency, where Standogbe received the petition on behalf of the president, and all of them had some moment to share. So that's just by the way of what happened.
But you know, in away from that demo, yesterday I saw you were talking about quite a number of things, especially with Adablah. Sister Adablah. What is happening with her in court?
So for those who are watching, remember the side chick. Side chick. So on your screens now is Deborah Adablah, when the issues with the banker Ernest Kwesi Nimako started. So she comes to court, she leaves the premises of the court, and eventually the substantive matter, her main case was thrown out because the court said an institution like the Judicial Service cannot be called upon to stamp a behavior like this. It's unacceptable. So they will not even go into the merit of this. So he was thrown out. He was even a cost was awarded against him. But some aspect of the case is still pending before the court, including the issue of the vehicle at the center stage of this whole dispute and all of that. In the course of the hearing, at some point in time, the judge at this time, Justice Olivia, made a point that the party should cease fire. No media commentaries and all of that. And it's been alleged that the lady went against that. So there's even a contempt application pending from the team of Mr. Nimakun and all of that. And on top of that, the lawyers of Mr. Nimakun also want a summary judgment in relation to the other legs that are pending. So yesterday, Justice John Bosco Nabarese sat in relation to one of the issues that Adablah and her lawyers want is to the effect that they want to raise some counter issues that Mr. Nimako and his lawyers have raised. They want to counter it. But the court thinks that it's out of time, so that request was dismissed. Then and then a cost of, in fact, 5,000 was awarded against. But before the court took that view, a video came to the attention of the courts, which the court deemed it contemptuous. And so the court have cited Deborah Adablah for contempt when the court cites you for contempt, it means you are in trouble. So the court is saying that she should come to court and show cause why she should not be punished for that comment that she has made. And on top of that, the court has issued a bench warrant for her immediate arrest. But what has Deborah Adablah been saying which necessitated the court to issue a bench warrant? Let's have a look at it.
You guys remember the execution they did in my old premises by towing my car and blah, blah, blah. No? My legal team fought against the execution because it was wrongfully done. Now, this is just a page 1 of the ruling. If you are interested, you can ask me. I'll send the full pages to you. This judge, John Bosco Nasabre, is saying that, of course, they needed 7 days for the judgment to be effective. If I had failed to deliver the vehicle, as the judge, Olivia Owusu, said, within that 7 days, then they have the right. But then he's not going to set it aside because it was wrongfully done. He said he won't do it in his judgment. He's also adding that my lawyer insulted him. My lawyer said the judicial administration has been compromised because they were able to retrieve the judgment the previous judge on the case issued, whilst we were still chasing the judgment. So this judge, John Bosco Nabarese or Birese, is saying that my lawyer insulted him because he said this. And in this ruling right now, you, a judge, you are saying that, yes, what they did was wrong, but you're not going to set aside the application. You are not going to allow them to bring the car back. You are joking. Are you not working under the law? Oh, I don't get it. This is where it becomes very critical. Initially, we say we are going to allow you people that are sitting there to do what you want to do, but always remember, karma is real. The judicial system is presumed juju doesn't work there. But the moment you have entered somebody's mouth, you can be beaten. Kobisa, go and ask. Then you know that the small one you chop is smaller than your future. You are done. So how to manage and make your legacy, nice, and unless you don't want that legacy, it will help you achieve that. Be ready to dance to this drum you are beating. You cannot be sitting there chopping salaries that are coming from me, my menstruation, and still be trying to be sidelining me. People come to me, oh, Debbie, I have this issue. Should I send it to court? I say, people are always in my DM, Debbie, I'm going through this. Should I proceed with court? Should I do this? I'm like, I try to position them and give them other avenues because I know our legal system. But always remember, the system you are working in, that particular one, even though it's an arm on its own, is full of spirits. And the spirits are amongst you all. So
Wow.
So this is not even all the videos. These are excerpts that we are playing. So these videos that you're watching on your screen, they were played in open court yesterday. And that informed the reason why the judge issued a bench warrant for her arrest. You notice that some of the things that she was talking about, indeed, when matters are pending before the court, then it means you may be crossing the red line. So the court now wanted to come and show cause why she should not be punished for such comments that she's made in all of that. So that is in relation to the Deborah Adablah. So yesterday, and you note that even the mention of the name of the judge at the point in time, she mentioned another one. So it is John Bosco Nabarese, Justice John Bosco Nabarese. She decided to mention it. The way the name is, sometimes you have to take your time before you mention all of that. And she talked about menstruation, she talked about juju, she talked about that. Those are serious.
If the matter is before court, you are enjoined to not have to, and now even issuing and saying that all those things against the judge.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll leave the court to
decide
its
whatever.
its full course.
We cannot be ahead of the court and all. Somebody will say that when there's a case in court, you say that we should not talk about it. So, but why is it that Murtala will always come here and we're talking about it?
We don't enter into
we just tell you what happened in the courtroom. We don't
express our opinions and all of those things.
We leave it as it is. So those of you who are watching will have to judge for yourself. Absolutely. So this is what happened, and this is the reason that the court is issuing the bench warrant and for citing her for contempt and all of that. So in the coming days, 15th of May, they are back in court. But what it says clear is that the order is for immediate arrest. So wherever she is, when the police sees her or when the police see her,
does not open. The doors of remand. Anyway, so we'll get to know exactly how that turns out. But the Attorney General has also been issuing some, caution out there.
Yes, yesterday, asset declaration, Mahama was on the appointees. He said a lot of things to the effect that even those who fail to comply with the previous directive will lose their 3-month salaries. And those who have failed to do that by tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is 7th May.
7th, yes.
Yes, you face the full consequences, including losing your position. Wow! Imagine getting an appointment and then less than a month, you're unemployed.
And if you decide to be disobedient, that's what happens. I mean,
yeah. So the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has been speaking, and he said, "Look, appointees of this administration, if you go contrary to what the law says, you will be prosecuted. Let's listen to him."
Can we move?
In terms of enforcement, as he himself has put it, all right, there are various ways of enforcement. One way of enforcement is to ensure that there are sanctions. Okay, sanctions will apply for breach of the code of conduct for political appointees. And as he himself said, very clearly, and he said it without mincing words, is that if you breach the code, you get disciplined. He will terminate your appointment.
But is that enough? Is that enough? Only a termination of appointment?
I mean, of course, if there are other consequences flowing from your conduct, that will also be looked at. So, for instance, he said it's legally, enforceable, and that is true because if you have been, terminated, if your appointment has been terminated, it should be possible if criminal conduct flows from what you have done, for the Attorney General to then pick up the matter and then, make sure that the courts impose the necessary criminal sanctions on you. And so I don't think that it is, enough to say, look, the person's appointment has been terminated. If the termination has come and there is anything to, follow up as far as criminal sanctions is concerned, it will be done.
But would you as Attorney General, would you be willing and ready to prosecute one of your own?
I have said that several times, and I think I have the support of the President when it comes to that. That the President has said, don't cross the line. If you cross the line, then it means that the sanctions will flow, and that includes taking legal action against you. I've said it several times, and I will not, hesitate to investigate and prosecute anybody who is an appointee of this government who crosses the line. Because it doesn't make sense, and for purposes of the public's sense of fairness, that past appointees will be prosecuted and then present appointees will go scot-free. That means that you are leaving room for them to be prosecuted in the future. You are just simply deferring their prosecution, and it doesn't make sense. So the President always says that we should not conduct ourselves in such a way that we give him the unpleasant duty of having to fire anybody. All right. I will also say that, I don't want to have the unpleasant duty of having to investigate my own colleagues or appointees in government. All right. So we should all stay in line. The straight and narrow path that has been defined by the President must be the one that we should all walk.
With our presidential affairs correspondent, Abdul Hanan Adams there.
Right.
And he said that, look,
if you
cross the line, it will be, I will not defer anything you're prosecution for. I'll deal with you myself and all of that. So the appointees, take note of that.
That's a good question. I think it's a really good caution. But then, moving forward, I mean, yesterday we saw the demonstration. Today we are dealing with it in court.
Yes, so the injunctions.
Right.
One from Vincent Ekowasif, a member of parliament for Otafo. Then another from one Ebenezer Osewusu, a private citizen. So both are at the Supreme Court today. Twice it was adjourned. The last one for unavoidable reasons or condition situations. So the panel had to adjourn it because one of the panel members was unavailable at the time. So today is the day that it has been fixed for here. We know a lot have made mention that already it is moot already, but we do not know as it stands now. So before a 5-member panel today will be at the Supreme Court to see what the pleasure of the Apex Court would be in relation to the interlocutory injunctions seeking to stop the President Mahama from continuing with processes to have the Chief Justice removed. And the issue about Namwan is also back in court today. And then AG department will update the court on situation at the Court of Appeal. And of course, the very last one that we'll be talking to you about in relation to OSP and Charles Bisu. It is expected that Charles Bisu will be arraigned today and his plea on the charges, corruption and corruption-related activities will be taken. So these and many more that we should look forward to.
And we'll definitely be looking forward to those. Murtala Inusah, thank you so much for bringing us court today. That's our man, Murtala Inusah, making sure that we have a firm grip of what has happened and what is expected to happen in the courts.